Alright, here we go. Now remember, you can move with your analog stick.
I remember.
Okay. Oops. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to loot this stuff. Alright, so let's get all this water.
Wait, are these... No, okay.
These are the potatoes that are done. They're not done, but the potatoes are done. We're gonna try to sell all this and make a bunch of money. Alright, so, might as well bring the audience up to speed with what's going on here now. This is the episode 3 of StehnZ and Jessi playing some Stardew Valley over here. And those of you who are clicking on this and wondering the backstory, we were going to try to elucidate some of that, because it's kind of an interesting story that we're back here together playing this today after such a long time being, you know, a part of one another's lives, going on and you know, moving on and living like our normal lives after all of that, because it was 24 years ago or so that we had first met online over the old AOL Instant Messenger. See, we are elder millennials, so back in our day, the internet was a dial-up modem and, you know, a lonely, unsupervised environment of trying to find, you know, your right mate and friend out on the internet superhighway, as they say. So what do we have? Where they were called AOL chat rooms. Ooh, I got given cookies from my mom. Nice. So what had happened back in the...
Wow, I got $500 from my dad. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay. We needed that money. That's actually huge, because we are trying to buy that backpack. Why don't we go do some foraging right now, and I can continue the story.
Okay.
So,
two introverts who don't like talking about their personal lives are about to tell you this extremely personal tale.
Yeah, and you know, it does feel weird to put yourself out there on the internet with that, but those of you who've been sitting here watching me play a lot of games, or Jessi and I run around in all of this, it's like, you might as well know basically what happened, right? And so when you dial the clock back and you're in the year 2000, a lot of you might not have even been alive back then, but we had dial-up modems, and we had to pay for a service called America Online, which was...
I had a 56K modem, though, so I was, like...
So she was going fast.
On top of the game.
Yeah, my 36.6 modem would have not been as fast as you, so you had a better computer than me at the time. Ooh, let's grab these worms. But the way they had it set up for you to meet and chat with people online was you basically had to use AOL Instant Messenger and just search for people by like a specific keyword of like, what are you interested in? Are you interested in sports or music or whatever? I mean, dance? I mean, there were a bunch of different categories on there.
Certainly not dance for either of us, but...
No, definitely not. What it was actually for my cold calling of Jessi way back in the day was I was searching under the term atheism, which is kind of funny. It was like I wanted to meet a potential person who shared my my stark materialist ideology of not you know, anti-theism, if you will. Ooh, that's the axe we need to give to... Oh, I don't have room for that. I'm gonna have to eat one of these things. I'm gonna eat a horseradish so I can pick up this axe, and then we'll move on.
Wait, what axe?
You don't see it, but I have an
Okay.
axe to return this to Robin, so we're going to make our way back to Robin. You had the same quest before.
Yes.
So we're going to try to take advantage of that. But anyway, yeah, picture back in the year 2000, probably spring or something around that time. This is before even 9/11. So America and everything was, you know, different time and place, and searching as a keyword atheism, we begin to chat in the year 2000. And let's see, what was the chronology like of that? I think you said that I paid you a strange compliment in our youth, and I called you after like believe, some
Yeah.
type of Greek
Yeah,
goddess.
you compared me to the Eris, the goddess of discord, because I was like harassing you to dump your girlfriend or something and get with me online. Like dump your IRL girlfriend and
Yeah. Well,
shoot your shot with me instead.
and did that ended up not happening in that exact way, but over the course of a year or so of chatting, whoops, you watered Abigail.
Whoops! I need to like get off this watering can, dude.
You just ran up and dumped water on her.
I'll give her a flower to make up for that
make up
little
for that.
snafu.
Yeah. But my theory is that, oh no, go back and press square to hand it to her.
Are you sure I didn't already?
No, because you were still holding it.
I gave it to her.
Oh, okay.
Told
And you just
ya.
you had two. I'm sorry.
You're like micromanaging my gift giving.
Well, I want to make sure that all the townsfolk get their thing. I better go say hi to Emily too. You know, this is
Give her a spring onion.
She might like spring onions. Let me make sure.
I don't
about
really want to talk to her, but
it's trying to make me give it to you. All right, take this onion. No.
it's the hand of fate.
I gave it to Gus, and he didn't want it. Anyway, all the towny drunks are coming in here now, so we have to. You make sure you talk to all
Where's
these people.
Shane?
Pam is here. I don't know where Shane is, but your
Wait.
buddy Pam is here. Shane usually shows up every night. But yeah, I'd like to think that somehow, like a person that of kind of my age making that kind of comparison to a the character who ended up starting the Iliad, I'd like to say, wasn't it her that ended up causing some of the discord with the Helen of Troy and all that nonsense? There's Shane. Don't you have work to do? There he is. See if he likes onions. That, it's little comments like that.
My fucking onion. He won't take it.
He won't. You've already given him stuff.
Yes.
But it must have been. What I was saying is, it must have been stuff like that that helped to differentiate me from the clown car of other potential suitors online.
There wasn't a clown car, trust me.
Oh, I don't know though. You were very charming in your youth, and
Just in my youth, though.
It's just in your youth. I don't know about it today. I mean, that's all remains to be seen. But no, I'm just kidding. But I assumed that there, like a lot of other people, when you put yourself out there, what the term is, gentleman callers. Is the thing. Yeah,
that's the term for sure.
Yeah, that I assumed there was a lot of that, and somewhere along the line, my intellect or charm separated me from this pack of folk. But according to Jessi, that's not the case. But that's the kind of romanticized.
What do you mean that's not the case? I feel like I've verbatim told you that before.
Well, it's not,
but
it's maybe the competitive side is perhaps not the case. But the charm must have been there, because here we are today. No, I'm just kidding. But because it worked out for so long at that time, and so what happens with that? We start chatting there, and but we did not have a formal relationship for the first good year of that. Probably just talking online every day and conversing like young people do. But it never, it didn't turn into anything until probably about a year from that. Probably because StehnZ at the time, me, had other, local girlfriends as I was trying to find my way in the world.
It's just
You're casting.
like right on the door.
But Jessi, you did not.
You were too much of a fucking pimp for me,
Yeah.
I guess.
I think so. I mean, or at least it's worth telling the audience that there's a decent geographic distance from us, because of course, if you're just meeting people on AOL Instant Messenger, that's kind of not respective of doesn't care where you live or any of that. So we have a good, I don't know how many hundreds of miles, a good 600, 700, 800 miles of distance, which seemed at the time impractical for any kind of formal relationship. And I think that was sort of the limiting factor for me at a young age. But I don't believe that was much of a concern for Jessi, for you know.
Do we have any more wood to chop?
Yes. This is the time that we should be chopping wood. Because I have a ton of energy left. Oh. Let's go ahead and spend it. Get it done. So that's basically just the prologue of all of that. It's, it may not sound
I was
like
the more romantic to your pragmatism, but I think I pulled you a little more towards my side.
I'd like to agree with that, because the limiting factor being the distance was purely pragmatic for me. Because of course, it's worth noting that obviously, from even at a younger age, I was very smitten with this person who I'm talking to right now, the third person. I feel awkward, but hard for me to just directly pay you that kind of compliment here while I'm on the internet talking. But it's worth. I mean, it's true. It's just that I didn't know what to do with that because it didn't seem practical. So.
But I didn't give a shit about practicality at that age, so I was able to persuade you to give it a shot.
Yes, you were, and then about a year later, now we're getting into about spring of 01. That we have enough money to buy the 2 backpacks if you want to, Jessi. Should we do it?
Okay. Tomorrow's the egg festival.
Okay, we're gonna go to that.
Wait, there's a crow.
Get rid of that. That eats some of our crops. That's bad. Let's water our plants.
Too bad we don't have a scarecrow. Now that you've explained to me what the concept of a scarecrow.
We will make a scarecrow. We just need the right material to build it, and then we can put it right here in the middle, and it's going to protect all of our crops from it. So that's a project for another day. But now that we have the money, we're just going to get the 2 backpacks. So we should.
Guys, comment below if you know what a scarecrow is. Just curious, because like some claims have been made that like today's kids wouldn't understand.
Yep, that was my argument to her about this. I was saying that today's scarecrow is a drone that flies up from a recharging bay on automatic after its radar sensed a couple of crows come by. So I'm thinking of the hands-free Hecator kind of farms, the ones that
analog scarecrows are lost to
Yes. I picture that exists, but there's got to be some farmer out there that would say that that's not true and we still use regular scarecrows. But in Stardew Valley, we definitely are going to use it. So let's drop off some of this stuff before we go, and then I can continue my story on that, because it sounded like Jessi caught us up chronologically to a point where our young relationship was codified, if you will. I don't want to say consummated.
It wasn't yet consummated.
Yeah, let's wait on that. That would have been a little bit later, but codified at what you had just found it by going through your writings. Oh my God, it's a festival day, so we have to come back later for the egg festival. It's probably at 9 o'clock. You want to try to go to this?
Yeah. Oh shit. Hold on. We don't have any eggs.
Okay, we don't need eggs. We just go and party. Just walk around and talk to everybody.
There's
Doesn't
shade
even matter.
right away.
You're gonna get see how everybody's smiling and happy.
He loves eggs, right? Isn't this his special day? It's like his Christmas.
It is his favorite day. So this is if we had eggs, we would have been able to distribute them or be a part of this competition. But instead,
poor Linus does not come for the social interaction.
No, he's coming for the food.
Says.
You make sure you just talk to everybody. That's probably the most
will.
important thing you can do here. But where was I? I was basically saying that, yes, I would say that based on the writing that you just found, not yet on Lewis, say no to that, by going through your old papers earlier today when we were talking, it would have been...
My diary?
Yeah, your diary papers, your documents.
My files.
Your files, your important documents about your history. It would have been April of... late April 01, yeah, so like the 26th or so. She says it's finally codified at that point. That's not her language as a child. That's the language I'm established.
I declared my love to my diary.
Yeah.
My teen diary.
Yeah. And so as of that point, that's when that's when it basically would have all started. Because before that, like she said, too much of a pimp, I suppose. I would like to think that I was, like a somewhat of an honorable character. I definitely don't think I was exploiting anybody, but I picked the wrong girlfriends. That's for sure. I didn't consider Jessi due to her distance from me at the time. But we were just talking about it, and it was funny kind of how it ended up being confirmed is that, she asked a very careful rhetorical question about whether or not that it would even be possible, and rather than directly ask me. So I would like to say that she actually kind of initiated that, and I acquiesced, and then we became, a young couple with who probably spent an excessive amount of time online chatting and unsupervised, and just an overall tremendous amount of time that spent on that could have been done doing other not childhood, but like other young person things. Obviously, we were older than that, but I guess I don't regret that. I mean, that's just the path that...
You guess.
No,
there we go again with you guess.
I'm sorry, Jessi. I think
you're downplaying things a little bit.
I am, because it's, I'm just, I guess I'm a little shy to talk about it, but yeah, it was extremely important. See, look at me, I'm now a rabbit. Please could take a picture of me.
It's a pig. No, wait, it is a rabbit.
Yeah.
Is it a pig? I don't know.
Well, I don't know if pigs lay eggs. I'm gonna go with an anthropomorphized rabbit.
Yeah, you're right. That wouldn't make that much sense, but...
Yeah, but it's springy, so it could be that. How long would it have been after that in April before I finally got a chance to come visit you? Couldn't have been more than a few months.
It wasn't. No, it was pretty closely, after that. And we had to, due to, the taboo nature of meeting anybody online then, and, like you said, the Dateline vibes.
Yeah.
We crafted, a cockamamie story about having met at a camp that I had been at the previous summer to my parents, and was like, I didn't tell you about this guy, but we've been talking, and, I'm not sure that they bought it. They must have, because it did work.
It did.
I think the story fell apart pretty quickly after that, but...
It did, because I was a poor liar. But what it did provide was bona fide credentials for me. I'm not some random guy on the internet that, because of course...
Predator.
Exactly. The Dateline vibe she's talking about is there was a pseudo-moral panic, I would say, at that time in the early 2000s, where everyone was afraid that the person you would meet online was some kind of predator, some kind of evil character that was, not who they say they are. And
you can't fish. I guess you can't do anything during this egg festival.
We could talk to everybody, and the time isn't rolling, so whenever you're ready, we can talk to Lewis. I've just been standing around here, so I'm telling this story, but we can definitely start the egg festival whenever you want. As long as you've said hi to everybody.
I think I did.
Even the doctor.
This guy, I don't know.
Okay. Ooh, I almost missed Emily. And Jody. See, I didn't quite get everybody. We tell Lewis when we're ready to start.
Okay.
But anyway, what we were saying is we had to get over that stigma because it was definitely something that anybody would have been concerned about at the time and made it kind of taboo to even talk about that you had an online significant other. But we got over that with that story. The funny part about that story is that I didn't really do my research about this supposed camp and like what exactly happened in the backstory. So it got called out very quickly where I think someone mentioned something about this said camp and I'm like, what? Like literally like completely dropped the ball and going like, I don't know anything about what you're talking about. And then it's like, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Like, remember camp? And I'm like, yeah, the camp that I like.
We were not like that slick, really.
No.
But like the initial lie, like you said, got your foot in the door.
Yeah. And so I think we abandoned that story pretty quickly because of how stupid it was. Yeah. But I do know that
we had to do something. We couldn't just be like, I've been talking to this person online, like back then. You just couldn't. That would be like an instant no.
It was for everyone, and for people in my life, for people in her life, and yet somehow, through sheer determination. We were able to make that work, and I was able to go and visit her, and we, had a great time. And like any kind of young couple, that you would see, but at a distance. So it all worked out, I would say, in those early years. Even though it's hard to be apart from your girlfriend for every day, in a long distance relationship, but something that I think. Jessi, you mentioned this to me before, and I agree. It was like my hometown. That wasn't a thing. I knew everybody. I didn't like any of those people. It was just never going to happen that way. I guess I had lofty aspirations and unique tastes in people that required that kind of eclectic intellectual position that you occupied even at a very young age. And like I definitely was charmed by your eclectic tastes. Your strong opinionated nature back then. You always seemed like a strong and sure of yourself person, and that a lot of random kids and not kids, but random people that you meet in your youth are not that. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You didn't seem like a lot of other people that I knew. So.
Should we, go get out of the egg festival before we continue?
I'm just boring the audience, jammering on about this. We should be playing. Let's do this egg fest and see what happens.
I think your story is more exciting than the egg festival, but maybe I'm biased.
Well, you were there, so, it is good to relive that those memories, because your first love only happens really once, right? So it's something that hopefully everybody cherishes it and doesn't look at it as like a negative thing, even when everybody's lives move on and change into other forms, which both of ours certainly did as we drifted apart over the years. Let's find these eggs. Quick, quick, quick. Run, run, run.
I didn't even know what we were supposed to be doing.
Look for hidden eggs and pick them up before the other guys get it. I got one. I think I see another one. I want to rush there before Abigail grabs it.
Get out of the way, kid!
Yeah, shove the kid and pick up the egg ASAP. I've gotten 2 so far.
What the hell? I don't even know what I'm looking for.
They're really little. There's like, why is this little colored thing like sticking out?
Oh my god. Get out of here.
I'm fixing to win this one. I've already picked up 4. Hopefully hopefully our treasures will go together. 7, 6. How many have you found so far? 0?
None.
Hopefully I won, because I grabbed 6 of them. I was on fire. I was in the zone. That was abrupt, though, because I'm sitting there telling a story, and suddenly we had to quick pick up eggs in a timed event. But basically, what you guys, did I win? StehnZ won?
Yes.
Oh my god, I was on the zone. I knew it. I failed it. Okay, so we got a prize. So I got a straw hat. Oh, I usually wear a hat these days, so I don't wear a straw one, but I will put this one on. That was amazing.
Stunning.
Yeah. I feel like we kind of... What do you think, Jessi? We kind of covered the prologue of the story, right?
Like a really dry version of it, but...
Yeah.
Like, you know, it is personal.
It is, you know.
So...
There's only so much that, is, Ooh, this might... Now you see my hat. We have enough time to chop some wood or something, too. It is personal, but that's all like public knowledge. You know what I mean? Like when you live your life and you make your choices that you make, and you know, we live in a society, so some of that is, of course, like you can't embark on that kind of journey that without it being you know, sharing that with the people around you. So it's like I don't have a problem resharing it even with these strangers on the internet. Why are you casting? Oh, you're doing fishing?
'Cause I felt like it.
Let me join you.
Are there fish in this?
Yes.
Like,
you
okay.
bet. We have enough time to catch something, and we can do some real fishing tomorrow. Actually, we got to buy those backpacks.
I like. Oh, okay. Driftwood. I'm not good at fishing in this game at all.
Yeah.
God, what the hell? What is going on?
This pond is just really small, so it's probably, without high fishing skill, it's going to generate a lot of trash. But we can go to the ocean.
I'm like having issues here.
I think your backpack's full. That's why nothing is happening.
Yeah, how do I get out of this screen?
Hit circle. In fact, let's head back home.
Okay.
You have to put something in the garbage, so take that driftwood and throw it out.
I'm hitting a circle.
Hit square, or X.
Got it.
Alright, now let's head... It's getting late.
Wow, that was an ordeal for me.
Okay, we're gonna pass out if we don't go to bed here soon, because we got 1 hour to go, so let's make it back. We could start our next day. Okay, so if you're saying that was that was a dry version of the explanation, is there any details you think I'm missing out that would be important for our audience here?
Yes, but...
Yes, but? I don't know what that means.
Yes, but I don't know that I can, like, fill them in. Okay. I'm like...
Well, it is hard to fill in because it was so long ago. Because, like, when I try to think back about, like, what could we have been chatting about on AIM, or all those endless hours, you know, in the early 2000 time year. Like, I can't think of the details of what was said. You told me that
I can think of a few things that we discussed, and okay. I feel like we had like a shared sense of alienation at the time from like our other peers.
Yes.
I mean, like, clearly, since we were checking for each other on instant messenger. But I think we were just way ahead of the curve there.
Yeah.
Because, like, 2 years later, I told you everyone had an online boyfriend.
Yeah, and they weren't just copying you, right? It was like a natural happened. You were
I'm not narcissistic enough to believe that I caused, like, a ripple effect in my social group, but...
there has to be some truth to that. That's my reading, but... That's probably not true, you're right. Yeah, that alienation sounds accurate, and it would explain why, you know, like, even the very coordinates in which I found it contact you were under that of, like, you know, a skeptic style, like, position. And, now why are you you're fixing this.
Yeah, this is bothering me.
You don't like it that it's not geometric?
No, it has to be, like...
Okay.
It's ironic, I think, that we met in, like, because I had, you know, at some point, I guess, indicated atheism on, like, my profile as an interest or something.
Yes, that's...
And we never would have met, had I not done that, but that's, like, don't you think there's like a measure of fate involved there?
Yes.
My feelings on that have since changed on like atheism in general, but
Right, I realize you've moved to agnosticism, but I moved from atheism to anti-theism. I went like full Christopher Hitchens over here, so but it's still ultimately in the same wheelhouse. Why don't we head down and do our looting? Do you like my hat, by the way?
yes, I was just gonna say I like your hat.
Okay, let's make sure we water our cat. We don't need to do any clearing of the land. Let's go pick up loot. Let's do our pass. Oh, you need to make room. Go sell that junk. Come on, Jessi. Go sell all that.
What, the onions?
Sell the onions or keep the flour, but you can either sell the onions or put them in this chest where I'm storing.
Wait, I'll eat the onions.
Okay. Eat them because you have we spent a lot of
I like roided on the plot. That
Yeah.
was like bothering me aesthetically, so that was
right.
kind of draining.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely eat that. And then that way you have some room to do some foraging. You can keep the dandelion. Dandelions also give you a lot of energy.
I'll just eat it then.
Yeah. But when to get back to your point, there was almost a weird like fatalist kind of feeling for that. I don't know. I don't want to get overly mystical about it, but I know that like a weird feeling would come over me before I ever chose to message Jessi at the time. She has an ancient screen name that still lingers in some formats, but I remember looking at it and going like, I feel funny. I don't know, like almost like I don't know, almost a weird psychic kind of thing that like. That there was something significant there, but that I should be like, you should be afraid or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, in the sense that like, I think there was something in your profile that was able to indicate your location. So that part of that pragmatism that I keep talking about that prevented me from pursuing you was that our big 600-700 mile gap in our proximity. Yeah, and I don't need to explain where, but just that there was that much of a distance. Obviously, you can tell from our accents that we are.
They
Americans.
could maybe clock your accent. I don't think they could.
You could probably clock my Midwestern accent. But
I don't think they can get me on that.
No, but if you don't have a Midwestern accent, you instead of the way we cut off our words this way, you will have more of a drawl that I hear in your intonation. I think that's my word for. You do have an accent, but it's like.
I don't think it's reflective of my geographic location, though. I could go into that accent in a heartbeat, but I won't.
I love that your imitation of it, and your imitation of your local accent. I still use that voice. I ripped that voice right off from you and used that because you. I don't want to. Now I'm giving away too much, but you get that like. It was something in the way that you would make the S's and the T sounds where it was gold. You'd have to be there, folks. You can't hear it, but once again, if we give it away, then everybody know where we live. And that's a subject for another day. Let's say hi to all the townsfolk.
I'm one step ahead of you.
Nice. Actually, we could let's buy those backpacks. Yes, let's get it done.
Yeah. Wow, George needs an iron bar for his great-grandfather's tombstone.
Ooh.
Should I accept this? Yeah.
I don't know that we're going to be able to get an iron bar. We have to get a smelter going.
We're going to have to do it now.
Why don't you get in here and buy this?
Oh, wait. We don't just find it in a random-ass field somewhere?
No, it's right here. To the right. Walk up to this thing where I'm standing. Click on that. This is your pack. We finally did it.
Wow.
Now you can carry much more stuff. So let's go fishing.
Okay. So I'm just gonna, like, stiff George on the iron bar.
Yeah, we don't need to get George an iron bar. Like, if we had an effective mining system, then I would say go ahead and grab that quest. But we're not going to the mine yet, so there's nothing for us to do with that. I say we just sort of fish until this evening. Now we have all kinds of room to pick up fish. And make sure you use the hoe on these worms that are sticking out. Ooh, I found a fossil. We can also pick up like clams and other like crab meat. Oh, can I fix this? I think I have to pay someone to fix it, or I have to be carrying 300 wood when we get here. Alright, come on down, let's fish.
Indeed.
Yep. But anyway. I don't know what else there.
You're keeping all the juicy details close to your chest.
I guess I am, and it's maybe some of that's on purpose. But there's stuff I can intimate to the public. You know, we obviously had a great time when we finally did get to meet in person.
I was gonna say the online chemistry was able to translate.
Yeah,
IRL.
I would say that's a bit of an understatement, but yes, it was. You would think that, you know, after there'd be a lot of nervousness and awkwardness about like how does that meeting first go when you know, actually meet someone who you've grown close with over remotely or over the internet. And I guess Jessi can also confirm this, that that was went miraculously well, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like better than I could have predicted, which is, you know, part of the reason why it, you know, it because if that didn't go well, of course, what would normally happen in a lot of these types of relationships, they fizzle out because it's once you realize there's no chemistry there or something like that. But we had the opposite problem, and you know, the days go
The
by.
opposite problem.
Yeah. The days go by, and like a blur, lose track of time, and then sure enough, it's like the you know, the clock strikes 12 for Cinderella, and it's time to go home. And very, very emotional times for to go through that as a young lover, having to say goodbye after you know, finally feeling like everything was perfect. But you know what happens then? You wait for the next one. So sometimes I was able to come visit via plane. Other times I actually had to ride the Greyhound bus for very long periods of time. And as a young person, that can be kind of scary, sleeping on the bus for an 18-hour trip. But it was something that I think I did a good 4 or 5 times. Because it was the cheaper way to travel at the time. But it was...
and it was worth it, right?
Yeah, of course it was worth it. I mean, that's all... you know, I was in love. Of course it was worth it. But it was it was a lot of labor to go through that, but it always ended up working out, because what would we do?
I got a broken CD.
Oh, nice.
Amazing.
Trying to think of all the fun activities that we did while I would have been there. I know that you showed me a lot of like we're playing right now. We were always into video games, even back then.
Yeah, that's like why we decided to do this. That was like
exactly
one of our favorites. Lots of stories there.
Mm-hmm. You had a hilarious collection of like unlicensed games. What was that weird like
Wally Bear and the No
Wally
Gang for NES.
Right, like an unlicensed
like a bootleg Dare program style side scroller. What are we doing? Are we gonna go back or?
We're going home. Yeah, we're back. I'm like exhausted anyway. So, we definitely played that, and as the years went on later, we ended up finding other games. Oh, this is the Linus event for you. You may pass out during this, because you're now going to be witnessing Linus looting the garbage. Remember when this happened to me? This sad scene is now happening for you. Everybody gets their own scene. George sees him getting the garbage. So I'm going to try to wait around so I can drive you home when that happens. I'll do a little bit of extra fishing when we come out of there. So try to click through those guys quickly.
How chivalrous.
Yeah. I know you like to. I mean, you prefer to have me not just like go.
I need a man to escort me around. I'm not good with direction.
Well, you're just learning the layout of Pelican Town here. Oh, you have to say the right thing.
100% supportive.
Oh, of his freegan lifestyle. Understandable, I mean.
Freegan, that makes it sound a lot more glamorous than, like, a hermit that rustles through the garbage for his meals.
I prefer to label him as freegan, because that is the
I like
positive
that
way.
better, too.
Yeah, people, that's definitely something that I've seen various hipsters in the past 15 years actually try to label themselves as, considering I live in, like, a
I can see
capital,
you running, like, behind the scene that's unfolding.
Yeah, you're invisible at my screen, but I see it on your screen. It's 12:40, so, like, okay, now he's getting his zucchini. Yeah. Alright, run. Come with me.
Where are you?
Oh my god, I don't know where I am in relation to you. I'm by the
Where
graveyard.
am I?
You're lost in the graveyard. Come back down here. Left.
I saw your hat.
Alright, we're gonna make it back. We're gonna make it back in bed in time. You're just gonna have to really run.
I mean, there's only so much I can do with the joystick, but...
This is
anyway, back to Wally Bear and the No Gang.
Yeah, we left you all hanging on Wally Bear. What else did we play? I feel like Bad Dudes, a bunch of side-scrollers. Hop in your own bed. We also had a joint affection for a couple of really classic movies at the time that that we introduced to one another, and would use, like, I don't know, if you could tell by watching this series, our
it's Clifford, Martin Short's Clifford coded.
Yes,
like
that's part of the naming convention. Is we both believed that Clifford was basically, I forget the exact term that I've heard applied, as Martin Short's Citizen Kane.
Yeah,
is the ultimate one of the
it's his
best
fucking magnum opus, dude. Like
yes. It absolutely
it does not get the recognition deserved.
And just
and that was 100%.
That was me. I introduced that to you. Yes.
Yeah.
and I'm just so glad that
I was just in awe.
That movie remained part of your life going forward.
It like changed me. Damn it. This plot is like freaking me out.
It's alright.
And I just made it uneven again.
It's alright. I trust your spatial awareness to get it rectified. We don't want, we definitely don't want something to be, like, geometrically wrong for your brain.
But yeah, that film changed my life.
There are scenes in that movie that are just priceless, that have not been, like, properly replicated, that, like, if I were to sit here and try to paraphrase the joke to you all, it would
you can't explain it. You have to experience it.
Yes. So that's why I'm just going to say, for those of you who haven't seen it, it came out slightly before Orion's bankruptcy, so it wasn't super well marketed at the time, so it was kind of a sleeper movie, and I believe it came out late.
It was a fucking bomb. Like, let's be real. But undeservedly so.
There was a delay in when it came out compared to when it was filmed, so there's a pretty funny scene where, like, Clifford throws, like, a giant party in Uncle Martin's house, and a bunch of local like kids come over, like I guess like college kids to come party, and they're doing some dancing that doesn't quite fit the 1993 thing. It's definitely they're looking pretty 1989.
When was it filmed?
I want to say 88, 89. Despite that it
Really?
came out in like 92. Yeah, it sat there
Wow.
it sat there and collected dust for a while during the during Orion's death, which was a pretty prolific movie maker at the time. We don't need to smash this, Jesse. Why don't we go loot? Let's go do our
Fine.
foraging. Oh, see this? This is salmon berry. If you walk up and press X on these, we're going to get berries off these. So we're going to make sure we're going to loot tons of salmon berries in the forest. Look for that growing on any of these bushes. So we had a shared love for that movie. We had a shared hatred for certain movies. You know, I know that we were both able to articulate the correct thesis about like why Angus was the worst movie ever. We were able to determine exactly
Like
that.
astoundingly, like caused an existential crisis bad.
Yes. Like it's so bad. You can't say it's so bad. It's so good. It was like a destructive message for children at the time, and we were able to like notice that.
It might be even more obscure than Clifford. Like, who the fuck is tracking for Angus in 2024? No one.
I don't think it made it because the kid didn't turn out good, and hopefully the actor will watch this video and be ashamed. No, I'm just kidding. He'll be fine.
How can he sleep at night?
I don't know. I can't sleep from being traumatized over it, but it wasn't just that movie. That we had a few others that we had a shared total hatred for, of determining that this is like the nadir of Hollywood. I think our other one that we like to both reach for is Kevin Costner's Postman.
But, you know, I can see the genius of it now. Even it was unintended, which is... It's rare to find, like, a movie that takes itself so seriously and is, like, so fucking batshit crazy.
Nothing really compares.
So I give it that.
Yeah, and rightfully you should.
It's like the craziest self-insert Kevin Costner like fan fiction, and he decided to make himself a postal worker as like the ultimate hero. Why can't I pick this up?
Press X over it. Don't press square.
Okay, press X.
Yeah, the bottom button. The whole thing flows as like this just really terrible vanity project, because a lot of times I remember at the time people joked that it was basically Dances with Costner is what they called it, because it kind of tries to regurgitate some of the themes from Dances with Wolves, but elevate his character into a messiah-like force for...
Yeah, to the point where some local, like some random townswoman begs him for his sperm, literally. I don't even know fucking how else to put it. Like, just gotta see this film.
At some point, that becomes
to believe it.
Yes, and
Waterworld is often cited as bad, but like...
Because this came out around the same time as Waterworld. This was near when Costner was on the top of his game. And people Waterworld has a lot more going for it than Postman. Trust me on it. There's at least, the setting is at least more imaginative. And there's Dennis Hopper, which sort of
Not like a post-apocalyptic society with like some weird rogue dictator whose motto is terror will defeat reason, and like Costner trying to string society back together by delivering mail for 3 hours.
Yes, she summed up the movie perfectly right there. But then as you said that, I went like, wait a second, that's also Waterworld, okay? Because there's a strange dictator being the Smokers, and
I forgot what even happens in Waterworld.
You said like a post-apocalyptic society with a bunch of obscure rules or mannerisms to it. Well, that's the weird like atoll that he first joins.
The idea of a Waterworld is somewhat more interesting than just America, but like it sucks and has no postal service anymore.
Right.
So yeah, you're right. The setting, like, I guess, makes it like come out a little bit ahead in the race.
Because everybody wants to picture a world that's like that, because of course we all heard about the rising sea levels and et cetera, and then it doesn't make sense.
Do you know what else is crazy though in Waterworld? I just remembered. For some reason, the Costner character has webbed feet, which makes him like a god in this new like world. I can't remember the reasoning behind it, but he's just like, Costner's character always has to just be like god tier and like so ahead of everyone else in the movie. It's just insane, like the psychology behind
they call it the old Messiah complex.
Yeah.
It seems like something that would be like kind of a narcissistic position or an extremely vain position. I'm going with just vanity on his part. That like, I was in this
There's
movie,
gotta be like a narcissistic element there, dude. Like,
it would have to be
begging for your like DNA in a movie. Like, he just decided to go ahead with that idea.
And you bring up the best point about it is that nobody stopped him. Nobody said, like, Mr. Costner...
He had free fucking run to do whatever.
Yeah, what's with the blank check? Like, who would... And obviously, they've taken away his blank check since then. I think they're like, you can make westerns, and you can make certain types of movies, and that's okay. And that's about what they've now limited to. He seems to be pretty much stuck in a few of those genres, where... Because you have to get the funding in order to make these things. Nobody wanted there to be another Postman.
Maybe there should have been.
I don't know. They would have needed a better antagonist.
You can't strike gold twice, I guess.
Correct. They would have needed a better antagonist because, as Jessi was saying earlier, there's the most over the top. I was like, I think the antagonist is played by Will Patton, who's normally a decent actor, but he overacts the hell out of this role because he's instructed to do so. I definitely don't blame Patton.
You have to wonder if he just like saw what was happening around him and just decided to burn it all down with that performance.
Correct. But he so oversells it, and there are a couple of great scenes where he's terrorizing these recruits, and he says that this is the time to talk about the laws of 8, and like, basically he starts hitting you with these like rules that they live by, and Jessi already explained one of them, which was one of the first things.
The only one I can remember, yeah. That's him fucking screaming, "Terror will defeat reason." Like, yes. Okay.
Terror will defeat reason? Sign me up. That sounds like a society that I would like to be a part of. Where, you know, we don't worry about rational arguments, we just commit violence. And then they all are eating that up. The people around them are like, yes, they're supposed to be like proto-fascists or something like that, but they're actually kind of pseudo, I don't know, like a weird form of vulgar libertarianism or separatists is the way it seems, because he makes reference to that they've destroyed the White House and all of this stuff, but it's all a backdrop in order to make Costner a more of a messiah. To say that,
but like the film fails to illustrate to the viewer what makes this character so great. It's just people around him being in awe for no fucking reason at all. And like at the end, like the kid cries or whatever, just seeing him. Like
that boy was.
There's no rhyme or reason for it. Like.
Honestly, I do believe, Jessi, that they do address that issue at one point in the story, and what the main woman love interest of Costner's, who ends up being, and we keep saying Costner because he's of course playing an unnamed protagonist. He's just the postman.
The postman, like, yeah, it's so dramatic that it's just there's no name. It's just.
So therefore you're better off referring to him as the actor because he's basically playing himself, or so I assume. I don't know the guy, so I guess I can't really make that claim. Sorry, allegedly, Mr. Costner, if you hear this. No, I'm just kidding. But Oh, you tucked into bed already? That's really
Yeah, I'm
early to
like
go to bed.
exhausted,
Oh, you're
so just
exhausted.
do whatever.
No, we can go to bed. I don't want to leave you there. We have enough time to do.
Just toil in the fields until you're ready to pass out, and then go to bed.
And then we can go to bed. Yeah, because we're getting pretty close to the hour here, so we'll wrap up after I finish this story.
It was like 20 minutes of postman exposition. Like,
it's important that people hear that because it helps explain that, like, you and I had in order to read Postman in that way, and not as we talked about, like, the way, like, some certain NPCs read it as, like, oh no, this movie's fine. Like, I explained that, like, a friend of mine's dad.
Yeah, will you please tell that story? Because that was one of the most jaw-dropping, insane things I've ever heard.
Yeah, I actually knew a person whose father claimed that he loved the movie, and I was like, okay, I need to dig deeper into that, because I must have gone on a rant somewhere about going, like, I have discovered one of the worst vanity projects of all time that Hollywood has generated. And this person explained that they actually liked it, and I had to say, like, what is the selling point to this movie? What could you possibly be getting from this? And through the medium of my friend to ask his father of this, it was that, well, the scenes are really cool because it's, like, set in the Rocky Mountains, and, like, I want to say that it has a setting that seems like the Idaho
scenes are cool.
Montana.
The scenery is cool. That's why you like this fucking movie so much.
Correct. Just Coster going around with his mule or on his horse later when he's able to acquire one from the Holnists, and just the long, drawn-out, wide shots of going through this Rocky Mountain wilderness was enough for this NPC of a person to say, wow, this is my favorite movie. It just lulls me to sleep on it. And then the guy crashes.
You're glossing over the craziest part of it. Like, the fact that this man just fell asleep to the postman, like, nightly, and admitted it. Not only did he say, whoa, hold up, I like that movie, he, like, Clockwork Orange style brainwashed himself watching it on a nightly fucking basis. Like, you were just gonna glance over that part, which is like...
I know, thank you for reminding me.
What sent me into the freaking stratosphere hearing that.
But when we look at it that way, then you go, this person's then having dreams subliminally affected by some of these the ridiculous scenes that we're talking about, such as the how he needs to become a body father for a poor
body father, dude. Oh my god, that's so crazy.
Is for the seed exchange, and of course, this is in a post-apocalyptic world. It's not like he can go to the sperm bank to solve this. She means to mate with him, so of course since
he's like the perfect male specimen.
Correct.
You know.
But it's all based on a lie, and I think at some point the protagonist has a bit of an existential thing to say, like, I didn't mean to do all this. I just plucked the uniform off a corpse, because there's a scene where he goes and does that. And
yeah, he's like a fucking scam artist, dude.
Correct. But the main love interest, it then explains, in counter to his position that, like, he's scamming everybody, that no, you brought hope. So it's that empty, it's a super empty message that you get in a lot of kind of Hollywood stories that says that, like, all you really need is, like, it's some cliche, all you need is love and hope to rise above the problem of anarcho-libertarians running around with guns, terrorizing and pressing villagers into service, and dominating the local scene and preventing any form of like growth in society. In fact, at one point, the main antagonist actually comes out and says the quiet part loud to some people that he's terrorizing and tells them that it's a feudal system we live in. He claimed, like, what feudalist claims their legitimacy in terms of feudalism? That's usually something that you ascribe to it later. A normal feudalist would say, by divine right, I have the power over you because I'm your lord. you wouldn't go, well, hey, buddy, we got ourselves a feudal system here.
Yeah, that was like a little on the nose.
Yeah, he became a little too self-aware at some of those
You can
points.
tell we're like scholars in this film as well. Like,
How many times did we watch?
You should write like a thesis on it.
I could, and I've thought about it, but like we have to go back and like
I think
actually
it would
explain.
be like, you know, worthy of contributing that to society.
You think so? I mean, because
Yeah.
otherwise that movie is faded into obscurity. It's one of those things that, you know, one of those garbage summer blockbusters that just a bunch of people
But
punched
was
in
it?
and
Didn't
saw.
it flop just like Waterworld? I remember people making a bigger deal about how bad Waterworld sucked, but I don't remember like a furor over the Postman. Like, I think it just quietly bombed.
Okay.
And then like a few boomers like actually legitimately enjoyed it and apparently fell asleep to it endlessly. Like, yikes.
Yeah, one boomer in particular, and if there was one, there had to be more.
Yeah. I told you, I wonder, like, I would have never guessed that anyone out there existed that did that, and now I'm wondering if there's more.
I think so, because the kind of scenery that we got, the cinematography, if you will, was pretty good for if you were into that kind of Rocky Mountain setup at the time. So it's not like people had YouTube or Google
Yeah, it was
Maps
all
to go
a
ahead and
grand
explore
facade for the shit that was presented
Exactly.
with that film, so...
Yeah.
But that was enough for some.
The reason why you remember a bigger backlash for Waterworld was because famously at the time when they were making Waterworld, Costner and his gang or his people, his funders, had famously demanded that they were to shoot the whole thing really on location. Like, it had to be way out there in the ocean. So there was somewhere near Hawaii where they set up all of that and wanted to make sure that they didn't have to edit out any shots of like a nearby island. I'm pretty sure it was far enough away that the logistics of setting up these shots in the middle of the ocean was a huge limiting factor. Then I know that some storms and bad weather did not go along with what they had planned for their shooting. So what ended up happening?
Emo.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought you might be interested in this one. You said before that he was your type.
When did I give him a gift today?
It's per week. It's 2 per week. I'm not gonna give him a
Okay.
gift. I don't really like that guy. I save my gifts for girls.
No
That's-
homo.
No homo. Yeah, exactly. Just make it very clear. I mean to give this to. Get out of here! I'm not giving it to you. Thank you. Okay. So that I think that was the extra reason why people, why Waterworld was so infamous, is that the budget ended up ballooning to something really high that I believe only got eclipsed by. Oh, this person wants green algae. You can pick that up. We know Elliot. That's the Fabio character. Let's head up and do more salmon berries. Look for more berries. The budget at the time for that movie, though, ballooned due to
Like
all these things.
astronomical.
Astronomical ballooning, and for that reason, I believe there was a lot of studio money loss at the time. I bet you that movie, though, has recouped some of its losses, because I know that it was fairly popular overseas. I don't mean that in a disparaging way. I guess they probably have a different kind of taste for the
Like
kind of
in
sci-fi
Japan?
adventure.
They
In
like,
Japan,
is that
I
what
thought it
you're
was okay.
implying?
I thought it was okay, popular in Japan and Europe and some other places. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know if you could fact.
I
check
don't
me
know,
on
I'm
that.
just
Yeah, I might be
going with the
baselessly
cliche of they
speculating.
love it in Japan.
Yeah. What isn't huge in Asia? Something like that. Yeah, I know that. That, but there's some truth to that cliche, I suppose, if that goes down that way. But I do believe the movie ended up recouping some of its losses. But I know we watched Waterworld a bit, but it wasn't. It definitely wasn't. It didn't hit like
As gripping.
as Postman did, and so we shared a distaste and a reading of bad stuff, as well as a enjoyment in like a
Yeah.
specific movie that was underappreciated. So now that's a little factoid for everybody. Yeah, we loved Clifford, hated Postman, and
That was the entire basis of
That was
our
it.
relationship.
That was literally it. Every time we talked online, that we would just go back into our rant about like how over the top Costner was. No, I'm just kidding. But like, I use those two things as an example because they do show kind of how we had like a more unique, not unique. I don't mean to like toot my own horn. Like I'm gonna have this great view or great ability to read.
No, we were like snowflakes, and
yeah, we were. Yeah, and
definitely in our own world, I would say.
Yes, and having the same kind of readings on those things was like a symptom of I guess it's worth saying, and I don't think Jessi would back that up, that we were both very similar characters at a even way back when. I've always felt like that we had that like kind of complete each other's thought kind of position. Like I could predict exactly where you were going to. It even happens to this day when I've been chatting with you. Is I already almost can intuit the joke or reference you're going to make because my brain is already doing the same thing too. And that's why even today we're fast friends once again, and able to create this kind of hilarious content with y'all that you can like and subscribe to if you enjoy hearing our story, because Jessi and I are planning to play some more games together. We have a lot of other ones that we're going to be sharing.
Some
is just
different
the
games on the docket.
Yes, adventures. We've got some survival horror lined up. And we're gonna go all out with that. And I think that with our combined powers of observation, and I don't know, I wouldn't say that skill. I'm not like some super skilled gamer, but I do have a lot of experience playing. We're bound to run into some unscripted, spontaneous, hilarious moments as we explore the world of Steam games and PlayStation. Should we drop off some of the stuff? We have a bunch of stuff to sell. Because then we're
Should we dump this stuff in the bin and call it a day?
Yeah, we can end in the middle of the day.
Well, wait, it's like 6:40.
It's better to end once we get to a new day, because it saves only in the morning. So would you like to do some fishing for the rest of this session? Some different things can get caught. We can head over to the ocean. There might be some more crap we can loot that is washed up shore because of the rain and tides and other things. And then we can go ahead and I kind of already did my Jerry Springer final thought for the audience, but I guess my real final thought is that it was a little unnatural to share all that, but I hopefully was able, like, I felt comfortable enough. Like Jessi said it best earlier, that we're two introverts, so it's normally not something that I would have ever considered blasting out into public. But because of our series that we're planning to do with this, I think it's important that everybody does know the backstory who are interested in our kind of unique tale of how we got to where we are and why we're playing these games today together. So I don't really regret.
I didn't really 100% feel that explained it, so I'll do my part maybe in the next episode to like fill in some gaps. We did kind of go on a tangent.
Okay.
Not like a completely like off base tangent, but
there may have been more details in the chronology and of all that would have been that I could have thought of, but didn't in the time, because I guess I was trying to provide more of a broad-based knowledge for anyone that's listening and watching this. But I know that you see, Jessi here has a better sense of like of recording history, so she has the writings from this era and all the she has the receipts, should I say. Whereas I don't in the same degree. I have to have her fill in some of the gaps in my memory. But I don't know though, it made such a profound impact on my life that I feel like that I do remember it way better than like other details from the time, because we are talking about, at least the stories that we told were from 24 and 23 years ago at this point. A lot of other stuff from that time is pretty blurry.
Like school.
Yeah, like that. and the various people that
things
I knew.
that didn't matter, like school.
Things that, totally unimportant compared to this, at least to me. But I also had that. I don't know. Now I sound like I'm all vain. I had that. I had the a pretty strong brain at a young age, where that I could kind of fake my way through school by just doing well in tests without doing any homework and other things, I guess. So I was able to spend a lot of time.
We were both able to do the bare minimum and make it through.
Yeah, that's
literally,
how
like,
say it. Hey, but hey, I still got to go to college, even if I slacked off in high school. So. All comes down to that ACT score. Alright. Someone needed seaweed or algae. I don't know. We want to cast one more? We can fish till midnight and back. But yeah, you think of details that I may have glossed over if you think that the audience would take an interest in that, and you all can tune in for the next time as we play some Stardew or something else. And there will be, I'm sure, more
we gotta
that
go.
we can get into.
We gotta, like, run home.
I know, we have enough time to run home. Just let me catch this last fish. Okay. Let's go, go, go. But I suppose everyone's homework assignment now, then, if they do need further reading or understanding, would be Clifford and Postman.
Jesus. I'll try to, like, describe things in more, like, human terms next time. Okay. Less obscure, like...
Thank you. I'm actually counting on you to do that, because of, I can only be me. I need you to ground the story into something that's more concrete.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, thank you. Alright, let's pop into bed, and we will call our episode here. Thank you all for staying a little bit past the hour that we had intended. Get out of my way, cat! Get out of the way, cat! Oh my god!
I haven't seen the damn cat, like, the entire game, and now it's...
I'm gonna end up passing out because the cat's in the way. I can't even get him out of the way. You seeing this? I crashed.
No, I'm in bed.
Ending. Well, look at your screen share. I passed out because the cat blocked me at the door. So on that note, blocked by cat, and we... we'll call it there. I don't even know what to say. The cat
We're done.
ruined my night. We're done. That's what I mean. That's my outro. We're done. Screw you, cat. And we'll be back in the next episode playing probably some more Stardew, possibly something else. We actually have something very special saved up, an entirely different game that we're going to surprise you all with. So you'll have to see that when it comes out.
You'll have to see it to believe it.
You'll have to see it, but Jessi and I collaborate to raise a child together in a digital environment. And hilarity ensues. So we'll see you in that episode, hopefully soon in the next few days. And thank you all for watching this, and goodbye.
Bye.